Hello and welcome to Just Ride Bikes. I'm David and this is a brand new Wilier Rave SLR, and it is the Italian company's flagship carbon fibre gravel race bike. And it is a big improvement on the one they launched 3 or 4 years ago. That bike I reviewed, linked down below, was stiff and uncompromising and tyre clearance was on the small side. But it still won a handful of big bike races, like Unbound, but the new version, I'm pleased to report, is a big improvement. And today, I'm going to review it. I'll tell you all the details, go for a spin and tell you how it rides, compare it to some rivals, and decide whether it's a bike worth buying or avoiding. So let's dive in and take a closer look. So, name aside, it's an all-new bike with some big changes, including space for bigger tyres. The old bike maxed out at 42 or 45, I think, from memory. It now goes up to 52 with 6mm of clearance around the tyres and between the frame and fork. And the bike is spec'd with a 50mm tyre. These brand new Vittoria Terreno T50 tyres, which I've been really impressed with. They are similar to the Michelin Power gravel tyres I've been using this summer. So a good option for sort of hard pack, a little bit loose gravel, and good on the road too. Low rolling resistance, a nice fast tyre. Definitely a tyre that boosted comfort on the bike too. And comfort is an area where the bike is definitely improved loads over the old Rave SLR, which is definitely an area where that bike really failed for me. It's just too hard, too stiff, and too jarring over rough gravel. But thankfully, the new bike is a big improvement and a lot of fun to ride over rough, tough gravel. That tyre clearance may not be enough for some people though. For example, a Cervelo Aspero is at 45, the Enve Mog is at 50, and then we had the more extreme end of the gravel spectrum right now, like the Allied Able and the Argon 18 with space of 57mm wide tyres. So while it's definitely a step in the right direction, and probably enough for most people right now, the majority of people buying a gravel bike, there will be a few people who wish Wilier had been even bolder with the tyre clearance on the bike, especially that sort of growing trend for mountain bike tyres, which has been coming from the US and the gravel racing scene, and it is a bike designed for racing. So yeah, perhaps it could have gone bigger, but like I say, for most people, probably enough. So let me know your thoughts on tyre size and whether it's big enough by dropping a comment down below. Given it's a race bike, naturally aerodynamics comes into play, and they claim the bike is more aerodynamic than the old model, which is the standard fare these days for bike launches. And it is a pretty good looking bike. This sort of narrow pinching head tube, the one-piece carbon fibre handlebar and stem, and full internal routing. And I love the way the down tube flows and flares throughout its length, shielding that water bottle and down to the press fit bottom bracket. And the seat tube is chunky at the bottom and really narrow up to the top tube. And of course, drop rear stays, which do remind me of the Volante SLR, the company's aero road bike in some way. And then one concession to that desire for big tyres and to create a lightweight and stiff frame is you can only fit a 1x drivetrain. There's no ability to fit a front mech at all. So that is a bit of a downside perhaps if you are hoping to fit a 2x, but all the bikes in the range are spec'd around 1x, and I go on for the SRAM Explore with a 1046. You can go up to a 52 cassette on the back, but given some of the racing pros are still using 2x on some US courses, that might be a bit of an issue for sponsored riders. But yeah, I think 1x personal gravel is the way to go. But I know some sort of roadie focused gravel pros are leaning toward 2x, so yeah, you can't fit a front mech on the bike. So yeah, there we go. The geometry is largely carried over from the old bike. This is a size large. I'll flash up the geo chart on screen now, and we'll talk about that more in the ride section, how it compares to other bikes as well. We don't have much in the way of versatility baked into the bike. There are top tube mounts. There's an extra bottle cage mount on a down tube, but none on the fork And there aren't any mudguard or fender mounts on a bike either. So not really the versatile option that something like an Enve Mog is, which could be used for racing or bike packing. This really is just a race bike through and through. The other detail worth pointing out, which you've probably spotted already, is the UDH dropout. So you can fit a SRAM transmission drivetrain, and it has a press-fit bottom bracket and an aero seat post with the seat post clamp inside the top tube there, and like I said earlier, full internal routing. The new Rave SLR comes in a range of builds starting from 4,400 euros with a Shimano GRX group set, which is pretty decent for a top level frame set with a lightweight carbon fiber layup of the frame here and a solid dependable group set, and goes all the way up to nearly 10,000 euros for the bike here, which is cheaper than the old Rave SLR. So the price has come down a bit, which is a good thing, maybe not enough for some people. And the bike here is a flagship bike with the best of the best equipment. So the new SRAM Red Explore group set, the company's own in-house Miike wheels with big wide carbon fiber profile, their own handlebar and stem, Pro logo saddle, and these new Vittoria Terreno T50 tyres, which measure 50mm wide. And the bike here, a size large, weighs 8.3 kilos on my scale. So yeah, pretty lightweight, not crazy lightweight, but definitely not heavy at all. The Rave is such a good bike and so much better than the old one, worlds apart from that Rave I rode a handful of years ago. A lot of that down to the bigger tyres. It's much smoother, comfort is fantastic, just bombs over the rough stuff so well, down bumpy tracks, over rough gravel, pothole roads. The smoothness, the comfort is now really good. I'm really pleased that Wilier has spec'd a 50mm wide tyre. So straight away from the shop, you get the full experience of a big volume, comfort boosting, but a fast rolling tyre. And this new Vittoria Terreno T50 tyre, my first experience on it, is a great option. It's fast on the road, down my country lanes, but carries that speed onto gravel very well. Definitely suits the dry, the intermediate, loose conditions really nicely. And with a 52mm clearance plus a 6mm of space around that tyre, you could fit a mountain bike tyre, a 2.1, maybe a 2.2 inch would fit. I haven't tried that yet, not had a time with the bike, and prefer to test the bike as it's sold, and you know, that's how the bike should be tested. But I'm sure people will max out a tyre size clearance on the bike when they finally reach the happy owners out there. And if you're not racing, like I'm not right now, and just enjoy riding these bikes for their ability to go fast along the road and along the gravel, then they're still a lot of fun. And it still puts a smile on your face. I'm having a lot of fun this morning at riding the Rave. I've done some country lanes, and now I'm on the gravel. So riding a bike for the last few weeks, the one I'm most minded to bring up as a comparison is my very own Enve Mog. And they do have a lot of similarities. The geometry is broadly the same, the head angle, the seat tube angle, but the Rave does have a 10mm shorter wheelbase, which you can definitely feel, just a bit nippier through the corners. And then the Rave does have a much lower stack. So if you remove the headset spaces on this demo bike, you can go much more aero, much more aggro with your bike fit if you are racing and trying to get as low profile as possible. And comfort levels on both bikes is very good when ridden with the same 50mm wide tyres at nice low pressures. I think maybe the Mog maybe has the edge on comfort, but for me personally, choosing between these two bikes, I would go for the Mog, which I own, because the Mog is as fast as the Rave, but it's more versatile. It's better for bike packing if that's your want as well. With more mounts, the down tube storage and mudguard fender mounts too, for that sort of year-round road bike in the winter and gravel bike in the summer, where the Rave is purely a race bike. Doesn't make any effort to be a versatile bike at all, which I get. It's designed to be a race bike, but the Mog is also a race bike with added versatility. So yeah, for me personally, I go for the Mog. But the Rave is still a very good bike if you are just racing. I don't care about bike packing and mudguard mounts as much as I do. And I'd much rather take the Rave over the Canyon Grail or the new Cervelo Espero, which I'm not ridden yet, because this bike has much bigger tyre clearance, so you can fit bigger tyres. And right now, I'm really enjoying a 50mm wide tyre. I think 50 is the new 45. There's no real downside, just all sunny uplands with extra comfort and just loads and loads of speed. It is a fantastic looking bike though. I'm loving the green. Very non-Italian colour vibe going on. Should be red or something more flamboyant, but yeah, I like it. I've had loads of compliments on the bike over the last few weeks, so people are liking the green on the Wilier. So yeah, I think gravel suits a colour like this. My Mog is also green. Different shade of green though, but I do like the green. Although I'm not sure about the non-colour match fork. Should that be green? What do you think? Drop a comment down below. Let me share some likes and dislikes before I wrap up today's review. In the dislikes column, well, a power meter on a €10,000 bike should be standard. There aren't any versatility options built into the bike in terms of bike packing or mudguard mounts, and there's also no down tube storage, which may be a deal breaker for some people. But in the likes column, well, it's definitely very fast. It's a rapid bike and definitely a bike suited to racing if you are going racing. It's still responsive and fun to ride, good handling as well, really stable when you're riding down super tough, rough terrain. And it's comfy as well, much comfier than the old bike, partly down to the big tyres the bike is spec'd with. The 50mm tyres are a good choice on a bike, and space to go wider if you want it. So to my opening question, is it a bike worth buying? Well, I think if you want a super fast gravel bike with pretty big tyre clearance, and not too worried about it being versatile for bike packing or having mud guards, and you don't care about down tube storage, then the new Wilier Rave SLR is a really interesting bike and definitely one worth considering. And a range of options available at different prices are pretty good too. And even if you aren't actually racing and putting a number on the handlebars or wrapped around the head tube, it's still a good bike to ride at the weekends. If you love thrashing your local gravel trails and a bit of road in between to link it all together, it's still a very exciting bike to ride, a fast bike to ride, and a bike that is definitely a contender for one of the fastest gravel race bikes on the market right now.